Hello, friends. Welcome back.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die.
God, what a joke. All right, well, welcome, everyone. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. We're all quarantined, so we're going to do a video. That wasn't the real reason, but it's fine. We're in 2020 now. We had a whole decade behind us. That's awesome. We lived through it. Fantastic. There's been a lot of fun, awesome games that came out too as well. So we're going to go through each game or each year and pick our favorite game from each year. It's going to be simple as that. We're going to do just 5 games though, and then we're going to do a couple honorable mentions. So we'll start with the honorable mentions, the ones that didn't make the cut for our favorite games of the decade.
So 2016 is the year I'm picking for Batman Telltale. Was one of my first Telltale games I ever did of a story-driven narrative. It was amazing. If you're a Batman fan, it was fun to play and still kept you on your toes while staying true to the lore, but switching enough things up that you weren't sure what was going to happen. But unfortunately, didn't get my spot.
I have a couple.
Okay.
My first one's actually coming from 2016 also. And this is honestly just coming on the heels of Doom Eternal coming out early today.
Shout out to GameStop.
On form, it was a return to form for the original, like what Doom started out as. Just the kind of fast-paced, like in-your-face, like action FPS shooter.
Still is super active, by the way.
My first Doom game was actually Doom 3. That's what, brought me into the series and made me love it. And then this one came out and it was just like, okay, yep, that's pretty much it. First talks, and it's coming in 2014, which was Tales of the Borderlands. So, the only reason I'm mentioning this one is because of what you said about it, how you were surprised the Telltale game made it on the list.
I'm excited. You have no idea. I'm excited to hear this.
When I went through the list of 2014, I don't know if it was just me, but there was nothing on that year that just felt for me. And it was literally getting to the bottom of the list, and Tales of the Borderlands finally picked it up. And so that one, I was just like, you know what? I'll go ahead and roll with that one because, the Borderlands that we know is, the mindless, pointless, shoot everybody, get better guns, level up. Meanwhile, Tales of the Borderlands basically pulls a full, 180 on that game and actually puts us in, an actual story-driven experience. It's goofy as hell. It's funny as hell. It was really, in a sense, a Borderlands game that was non-Vault Hunter for most of it. And it was just this stupid crew plus Chris Hardwick, whose character is amazing. And really, that's the whole reason why I picked it up, is just how different of a Borderlands game it is for the series.
There's some games on my honorable mention list that I have 5 on here, but I'm probably going to cut it down just for the sake of it. Because some of them I just put on just for the sake of, I love that game. So, for one honorable mention I'll put down would be a game that kind of had a huge emotional impact for me that was Driven, which was in 2017 for Hellblade. I'm huge on studying psychology and learning about the human mind, how it works, and how there's different ways the mind can trick you, and that's basically what the game is. And it was phenomenal. I mean, the gameplay was fun. It was a single story-driven game. There wasn't any side missions or anything. You just sat down, played. You didn't have to go looking for collectibles, or you just sat down and played and experienced the entire thing. And truthfully, it was amazing experience. Another game that really tugged at my heartstrings and got to me on a surpassed a gamer emotion to a personal emotion would be Final Fantasy 15 in 2016. It completely turned itself around and was not just another Final Fantasy. It was a game that included a whole different generation of gamers who didn't play for the Final Fantasy series, and this was a game that just blew it out of the water for me. It was immersive. It was one of the few JRPGs I've actually 100%ed. It took me over 100 hours, and I loved every single second of it. I would probably do it all over again if I didn't have all the other games that I have to play.
That's literally
listed right here. I have all the DLC for that, and I absolutely love it. So, Preston, do you want to start us off with the actual list?
Yeah. So my first one comes from 2010 with Super Mario Galaxy 2. This was a blast. because with Super Mario Galaxy 1, you had something new for the series, and it was amazing, and you had all these different forms that they brought in for Mario, which, like, you know, the classics, like the Tanuki suit and different things, but it's like now Mario could change into different stuff that he couldn't before, and it provided a fresh take on the series. So with the sequel, you were very afraid of, like, can they pull it off? Is it just going to be a rehash? No, they keep it going, kept the freshness levels, upgraded the features, and everything you loved about the first game continued, and it was just an amazing gameplay, and I'm surprised they never made a third.
Yet.
My first game is coming from 2010 as well, and that's going to be Fallout New Vegas. Honestly, Fallout New Vegas is kind of like a huge personal game for me. Because, like, growing up, I kind of played just a little bit of everything, like sports games, shooters here and there. In middle school, like, just growing up, everybody was talking about, that Fallout game. And I was like, hey, what are these Fallouts? And I believe when I had finally picked it up, New Vegas had just come out. And, so, you know, I kind of jump into it, not really, like, knowing, like, what's going on. I think right at the same time I picked up Fallout 3 as well. And I was kind of switching back and forth between the two. But kind of like when I hit like the halfway point for both games, like it's almost like kind of Fallout 3 to me personally kind of hit a wall a little bit, and New Vegas just like took off from there. It plays on the whole like California, like Nevada border, and it's like, hey, I know where that is. And you know, in a sense, like looking back on Fallout games now, having played most of them at this point, to me, like Fallout New Vegas kind of defines what a Fallout game should be.
My game is from another kind of in the same realm because it's made by a similar studio for 2011. I go back and watch the announcement trailer for this, and I get excited every time, as if the game has not come out yet. It is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game is still, to this day, one of the most popular games ever made. And this is something I put probably 400 hours in, easily. Probably even more, because I played it across the PS3. I played it on PC a little bit, on a friend's PC. I played it on the 360. I played it on Xbox One. I played it on PS4. I played it on everything except for the Switch, basically. Has defined a huge part of my gaming life because I felt like I was able to do the freedom of whatever I wanted to do. I just got to do whatever I wanted to do. And not many games nowadays allow you to do that. And it's easily one of the greatest games I've ever released. If I had to pick a game that defined this generation, it would be that one, and it was in 2011 when pretty much the decade started. Are you doing 2013?
Yeah, I'll go Last of Us.
Okay, so we're going to make this a little simple. We're going to go in on our next one, which is from 2013, The Last of Us.
It's literally unanimous.
I think we can all together agree that it tells one of the best video game stories to date.
But hey,
By far. Like the ending is by far one of the perfect video game endings I've probably ever seen, because it's a bittersweet one where you have to question the morality of your main character that you played throughout the entire thing. And the online stuff is amazing too. We all still play it. Give him a break. It was his first time playing it.
So I want to say almost the ending in a sense. Yeah, it was perfect, because you know the whole morality thing. That's kind of why that game has stuck to me so long. But it also ended in a sense where, yeah, they could have just called it a day right there, and, you know, they go on and their little adventures, yeah.
We've been fine.
But it also was like they kind of left the door open for, hey, can we pick up their adventure later on? Which, based on what we're seeing, I am terrified for.
Yeah, I'm immensely scared.
Because that's how it's like, I was in that boat where, you know, Last of Us doesn't need a sequel, and as soon as they said Last of Us 2, I was literally just like, please. Like,
right.
please give that to me. And then, you know, as the trailer started coming out, it was just like, I am not ready for this.
I was like, I don't know what to think,
like,
what to feel with this sequel, because it could either be amazing or it might hurt the impact of the last game, and that's what I'm scared of. But we'll see whenever we get it in our hands.
What I feel like in the sequel, though, you're getting, like, did Joel make the right decision? Because some people could have thought, like, he made the right decision. He was like, this is the only person I still love in life that is, like, my daughter. And
he made the wrong decision, let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people
it's just, it's the time will, you know, one for many.
When I first played the game, I didn't actually play this game till last year. Mm-hmm. But when I first played the game, I had to text one of our buddies, Jose, and I was just like, what just happened? I was just distraught. Never played anything like that where they throw you in 1,000 miles an hour and be like, hey, that person you're playing as, yeah, you like them? Yeah, they're pretty cool. Dead.
Arguably, this is a side note, but arguably, we have a fourth friend of ours. His name's Jose. Arguably, he loves the game probably, out of all of us, he loves it the most. I mean, the man has played it, I don't know how many hours.
He's the one that made me get it.
He's the one that threatened to beat him if he didn't play it. So,
my next game is going to be controversial. Pokemon Go. And the only reason I'm putting this game, like, yes, there are gameplays out there, but
no, we want the regular monster. That's not, no sugar.
I accidentally bought this one. I'm sorry.
Cultural impact, because you would be in a park with like 100 people you never have met in your life, and everybody just coming around talking with each other. It actually made gamers go outside. 4 years later, somebody's still doing this. Most of us have lost the hype by now, but I remember literally seeing people stop traffic in our town where they would all just walk across the street and cars had to stop because of them on a main street. And this thing was crazy. People were finding dead bodies and to go in and like, I think someone
Such a
walked
great
up
social impact.
some game had an impact on society.
Literally.
You could not leave headlines
literally.
of it anywhere. Like it was everywhere. And that's the reason I picked it, was because I was a part of the craziness of that. And I think
I'll give like I'll give a good point to it. That no game that's accessible has had such an impact. I mean, you literally just have to get on your phone.
Yeah.
Anyone can play it. Your grandma, your grandpa, literally anyone, any child can play it. It was super accessible, and that's really what made it impactful, because it wasn't just a select, like, oh, only Pokemon. I mean, people who were outside of Pokemon were like, I get to finally see what this is. And it was accessible to everyone.
My next one, I'm going to 2015, which was actually... This is the first PlayStation 4 game that I ever bought out of pocket, because I didn't get mine until 2015. But it's actually Batman Arkham Knight. Originally, when I had picked this game and I wrote down my little notes for it, I had put down that it ends the Arkham series, but with all the rumors with the new Batman game and how it supposedly might be another Arkham game, I'm gonna hold off on it. I mean, technically it does end the Arkham series, because it's the end of Bruce's career as Batman, possibly.
It's been 5 years. Just spoil it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
because at the
I
end.
haven't played it.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, that's right.
I'll
I'll try to hold off on spoilers. Then.
I own the games. I just haven't touched them yet.
For Broderick to have his first game, there was no better choice than Arkham Knight. It was non-negotiable. This was the game that had to release for Broderick's real first PS4 experience.
And at his prime, and also at his most brutal, because there's some parts where he's literally full on like metal pole smacking people on the head, and he's full on just beating the crap out of everybody. And I know there's the whole Bat Tank controversy, but personally I like the Batmobile. You'll see when you play. And then on top with Arkham Knight, I had always wanted Scarecrow to be a main villain of the series, because I would say arguably my most favorite villain of all of Batman's rogues galleries is Scarecrow, and just being able to actually go toe to toe with him in a sense to where he's an actual threat. We're going toe to toe with Scarecrow. I loved Arkham Knight as a character, including his controversy as well. But the Arkham Knight was this was someone who was actually able to step up against Batman, and oh, what now? Like, what the hell are you gonna do against me now? He knew everything. And it was just, it's arguably my all-time favorite Batman story, and that's Pulling Close with The Killing Joke.
So, I have my entry next, which is from 2015 also. This game, I would say, is the core reason why I play every game on the hardest difficulty. Why I push myself in every game to play on the hardest setting that I can and make it a challenge for myself. And this one was Bloodborne. So Bloodborne is part of the... not part of the series, but it's kind of part of the genre, the Dark Souls series. And when it first came out, I struggled with it increasingly, but it was the first game in that series or genre game that I had beaten. By the end of it, I said, that was easy. Changed how I play all the other Dark Souls games now. And now I have platinumized Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne. But it is one of the games that I look at, I'm like, if it was not for this game, I would not be the gamer I am today. And we've got a lot of great inside jokes because of Bloodborne. So, if you ever hear me on my stream saying, I got Bloodborne, I Bloodborne them, inside joke. Very good.
So my next pick is 2017, also one these guys hate me for, Fortnite. This game was free, and it was a battle royale. Yes, there was one before it and everything.
Multiple before it, actually.
Multiple games before it. But everybody could get on it. It was very accessible, and you're like, oh, what is this? And it's fun, so you kept trying to get that first win. Then they had squads and duos, so you would get in with friends and everything and start playing this. And then because more people were getting it and buying things, the graphics started to get better. The skins that people started getting it. They updated the guns. They updated the places. And this game, since it's come out, has only constantly changed. It is always a new game. Just the other day I saw they added helicopters in this thing now.
Yeah.
Everything, it's like, it's the same game.
And now they're even doing like big, like they had the whole Thanos crossover. They've done it to where
That
they
was
had weapons
huge.
and everything, where they had Stormbreaker, the shield.
Well,
and
they had
everything.
Batman in there too.
They've done,
Yep,
they've done
Batman in
Batman. I think a Harley Quinn.
The only thing
Yeah.
I will say is, have you heard of Fortnite before Battle Royale came out?
No.
Okay, so Fortnite had its original game.
Yeah, it was.
You
a
know what
single
it
player.
is.
Yeah.
And it was
no, let me
booty
tell you,
cakes.
Yeah, it was like a kind of MMO type thing, and I used the term MMO lightly, but
A fortress defense. That's what it was.
It was,
It was
yeah,
a fortress
yeah, there you go,
defense.
fortress defense.
It was the fortress
and, You know,
defense.
against like cartoony zombies, and I was like, you know what, this game looks kind of stupid fun.
Alright.
Come on, give me credit.
No, no. You put Pokemon Go.
And
Sure.
they even went on Mass Singer because a
Yeah,
pro
Masked
video
Singer, he's
gamer
been on, like,
is
uh,
actually a celebrity now. Like,
What is it,
has
like
been
60
on,
Minutes? He's been on that.
Yeah,
He's been on CNN.
like Good Morning America.
Like,
I mean,
Fortnite has, in its own, like the Battle Royale, has made gaming like a huge market now.
If
I mean, yeah, it was
yeah.
growing, but Fortnite literally just blew it open.
I think because of Fortnite, yeah, people look at gaming as not just a one thing. It's accessible to everyone.
Oh, I'm going back to 2018 for this one, and this one was a huge title that literally, like, all of my 2018 literally led up to this game.
I'm gonna pause you for a second. I'm just gonna say 2018 was the hardest year I think for
Yeah.
me to pick a
Literally,
game for.
Starting from 2018.
This is my second one.
Yeah, because our
So-
original, when we went to 2020, literally 18,
Yeah.
19, and 20 were god awful for me to pick. Because it was literally like each year I
Well,
had a
18,
list.
19, not
Yeah,
20,
oh,
21.
Actually, yeah, no, not
Yeah.
20, so 18,
But
19.
still, it was hard.
Yeah, 18
Last
and
year,
19, I literally had
yeah.
5 games for each year, and I had to pick from those.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2018, I'm going with Spider-Man, and I even included the hyphen because we got to do my boy justice. I knew a little bit of his like comic history, but Spider-Man as a character, I didn't really love and appreciate until Captain America: Civil War when Tom Holland made his introduction. As soon as we start, Spider-Man getting into that battle with Fisk, how it literally throws you right in, and it literally, it's an older, more experienced Spider-Man, a little bit more mature. He was actually, like 23 in game, so he's right around my age, dealing with all this stuff, like the whole Sinister Six and everything, just how just mature and like deep that story was as a Spider-Man, like story and game. By the time I finished, I was literally just like, I'm gonna jump right back into this. This was, an amazing game. It's like, this Spider-Man's such an amazing character. It's like, literally, like, I think I finished it, and about 20 minutes later, I started a new playthrough. Now, I'm ready. I want to do this again.
Spider-Man PS4 is the perfect Spider-Man narrative
Literally, my first
the
hour
perfect-
and a half of the game was
yeah.
just swinging around New York, because why the hell not?
as well, but I decided not to pick it because I compared these two games. You guys already see it on my list, but I compared these two games, and I'm like, all right, so Spider-Man was awesome, it was fun. This other game, I'm not going to say, you probably already know, have similar like qualities of life things that I love, constant replayability. I look at Spider-Man, when I'm playing as Spider-Man, it's a 10 out of 10, it's the best game, but all the other stuff in the game, the side stuff, is what made me decide I'm not going to put this on my list, because the science puzzles were just, they're there, and the sneaking around sections as the other characters were again also there, they weren't all that great. If you weren't playing as Spider-Man, the game was not at its best. However, a game that was always at its best consistently from start to finish was God of War in 2018. This was a game where at the end, I had God of War 3 on my honorable mention list. When this game was announced, it was really unexpected, especially with the ending of how God of War 3 ended. And when the first trailer came out, it became an over-the-shoulder third-person gear system RPG, I lost my damn mind. This game was something that I was immensely excited for the moment I saw it. I heard the music. As soon as I heard, the music happen, I was thinking, there's no way this is God of War. There's absolutely no way. And lo and behold, you hear Kratos talk for the first time. You hear him say boy for the first time, and which is a meme in itself. Great meme. I use it all the time. But you hear Kratos say boy for the first time. I remember where I was sitting. I was sitting just at my desk watching it. I automatically jumped out of my seat and said, there's no way this is God of War. Sure enough, the man comes out of the shadows, and it's Kratos with his full beard glory. Because all the other ones were like, okay, it's the same thing over and over. This changed everything, and it was just like they copied like Dark Souls type styles where the R1 button was your attack, and then you had to dodge stuff, you had to deflect stuff, and it was literally like a Dark Souls type genre game. Just incredible. A true testament to games and how they come out. Let me see. They're 2019.
Yeah, it's like a real.
I already know what it is. Just show me it.
No, I'm actually gonna pick 2018 for my last,
Your last?
because this would be my last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I'm disappointed in this man. Go ahead.
For my
Let's
fifth
just
and
see where
final
this one
pick,
goes.
I'm picking Spider-Man because I mean you picked it too.
I know, but Preston.
And you start off the game, like you're saying, you get thrown straight into it. Yes, there's a bit of clunky parts.
I'm in shock.
but
Honestly.
I love this
I am
game.
too, a little bit,
You get to
actually.
jump into it, you start swinging around, and even that is just fun, just swinging around, and it's like everything is beautiful. Like the side missions, I love them. They're amazing, which for me, normally I'm a main story guy. You get in, you do the main story, and then you're done with the game. This got me into side missions. I actually enjoy doing some of these side missions where they're just fun and they're funny. The dialogue is hilarious when you're going, just swinging around, listening to Jonah J. Jameson talk about everything. It felt like a complete full world, and that's why to me it was great, because the lore was solid, the story was solid, and they knew where they were going the entire time, even though when you had to play as MJ, it stunk. But everything else was amazing.
And that's your last entry?
Yep.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Yeah, I was gonna say our last pick was gonna be unanimous,
But it's
apparently
not.
It's not. We got hit with a curveball.
2019. Let me start off with this. So, let me start off by saying this.
I'm already like. Just,
Since the game came out in North America is when I got it. I didn't know what it was. It was confusing because I just saw a boy with big shoes and a key next to Donald and Goofy. I didn't know what to expect. That spawned into who I am as a person, not even just as a gamer, but as a person. It spawned who I am, like morally how I am, morally how I think about things. It's created that in me. It created that in me. So this is a game that we have been waiting, years for. Since technically we waited since 2014 for it to come out. But
I used to
actually
know
no,
what it was.
2013 we waited. 2019 we finally got it. Kingdom Hearts 3 is my 2019 game. I'm sad that it wasn't even up for Game of the Year running, but for my
still cut off. I'm still surprised by that.
doesn't have the best reputation. I understand that, but I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to Kingdom Hearts, I'm a cuck. I will literally buy. I don't have my whole thing. I have a box full of all the pops. I have a stack full of all the games. I own all the games that have come out, even the
Really?
Japanese versions. The Japanese versions I all own. I own every single game. I bought the story so far, literally just to collect the shit. Kingdom Hearts 3 was something I've been waiting for a very long time. I was the first person in my town to get the first copy. I dressed up. It was a full thing. I cried walking up to the counter to pick up the game, and I cried on the way out. I screamed, I cheered, I stayed up till who knows how long.
I think it was like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
We were
super
Yeah,
late
it was
on
super
that.
late, and I even bought another copy so this man can have it. I will spend any amount of money for Kingdom Hearts merch. Words cannot describe. This is my favorite game series of all time. Regardless of what anyone says, how bad the story is written, because it is written very poorly. The dialogue
It
is booty
Clunky,
cakes.
yeah.
It's not. It doesn't sound good. It sounds awkward, but I love it to death because this defined who I am as a person. This is something I've been since 2002. to 2020 because Remind came out in 2020, and this was the game that defined who I am as a person. If it wasn't for Kingdom Hearts, I wouldn't be who I am. I can assure that for a fact. I mean, I have a whole shrine that I'm gonna put up eventually of Kingdom Hearts stuff. It is the love of my life. I love Kingdom Hearts. It's a series that I mean, every year when I didn't have my PS3, I couldn't play the remixes. I was still, day in and day, I still do this. I rewatched old trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3 because I still have that feeling of this is something that was going to come out. It came out. It doesn't feel real. Truthfully, to me, it doesn't feel real.
Literally, Knights of the Old Republic literally just created my entire, like, gaming, like, persona, like, my, just who I am as a gamer, like that. You know, that game was literally everything to me. And, then, yeah, like, literally just one day, my mom comes home and she's like, oh, hey, I found this game for you. It has Disney characters on it, so you might like it. Like, Kingdom Hearts just literally, like, took me away. And Kingdom Hearts alone is what has probably made PlayStation just my all-time favorite console. Because at the time, I was bouncing between Xbox and PlayStation. And I was like, PlayStation has its benefits, Xbox still has its benefits. Which, I mean, to this day, they still do. But as soon as I put, Kingdom Hearts into the disc drive and it took it in, it was literally just gone from there. Like, I was, you know, PlayStation literally just took everything. And I still remember, you know, on my original PlayStation 2 copy, I never beat, because I could never beat Ansem at the time. Don't know why, but I was just stupid and I could never beat him. Really only beaten 1 and 2. I'm right at the end of Dream Drop. I'm like halfway through Chain of Memories. And, I mean, 0.2 doesn't really count because that was all of like a 20-minute game to begin with.
Was that one Aqua? What was that?
Yeah, that was the,
Oh,
yeah, that was the
Frightening
Aqua
Passage.
episode.
Which was like low-key a demo to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I remember, you know, we picked it up, went back to your house, and, you know, we put it in. Next thing you know, it's fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, holy crap, we need to go to bed. We have Remind,
for
and
me.
Remind has filled in the gaps of where I was, you know what, they could have done better. You know, Remind, I wanted to attach this Kingdom Hearts 3 as a whole just because of how much it's done for the game, on top of everything that game has already done, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is just that. Like, you know, for people that are fans of it, that have grown up with it, you know, it's, at least I can say, everything that I wanted it to be.
Nothing can amount to, if I had to pick my game of the decade, it would probably be Kingdom Hearts 3, if I had to pick one. Just because this is something I've been waiting for who knows how long, along with a lot of other fans. Still, the hype was still real. I would stay up late doing constant research. I mean, and constant research on what's happening with the game. Where's the development at? What does it look like? I want to know, because it just means that much to me. It's going to be my favorite till the day I die. You guys are going to bury me with my Keyblade, bet.
Probably.
Honestly, yeah. That makes sense.
I have been in the fandom for 4 years now.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, it was a blast.
Because of me.
But in the end, there was a couple of things that Spider-Man beat it out for me. So,
I think for you, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
I figured,
which one to switch.
I figured, well, we're all going to talk about the same game, make it easy. Then he's like, I was like,
Curveball.
you could have taken out Fortnite for Spider-Man. That was the list. If you guys had liked this video, if you guys even watch my channel anymore, I don't know. But if you guys liked it, maybe we'll do like the games we hated the most. Because I got a couple of doozies that I would love to put on this list. Conversation. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Exos47. This is Revan_16. And this is Curly Fry. Thank you guys so much. Y'all take care. And you stay awesome.